In the year 1324, the people of Cairo, a big city in Egypt, saw something they had never imagined. A very large group of people and animals arrived, stretching far across the desert. It looked like a shining river of gold moving through the sand. This was not a small group. It was like a moving city. There were about 60,000 people in this journey. 12,000 servants walked, dressed in special silk clothes. About 80 camels also walked with the group. Each camel carried a heavy load of gold, around 300 pounds. 500 servants carried golden staffs. At the center of this grand sight was Mansa Musa. He was the king, or emperor, of an empire called Mali, located far away in West Africa. He was on a religious journey to the holy city of Mecca. When Mansa Musa and his large group arrived in Cairo, they stayed for 3 months. During this visit, the king began to give away gold with great generosity. He gave it to poor people he met in the streets. He bought many things from local markets, paying with large amounts of gold. He spent gold freely, almost every day. This act of great generosity had a surprising effect. So much gold came into Cairo that its value fell. Gold, which was usually very precious, became less valuable. If a merchant had a lot of gold before, it was now worth less. This caused a big problem for Cairo's economy. The price of gold stayed low for more than 10 years after Mansa Musa left. People from all over the medieval world were shocked. They had never heard of one person who possessed so much wealth that he could change the price of gold in a major city. This incredible event made people ask a big question. How could a king from an empire that many people knew little about have such riches? Mali was often seen as a hidden empire. Yet this African king had more gold than many powerful European countries combined. His spectacular arrival with 60,000 people and dozens of gold-laden camels marched into a city, threatening to change the global economy forever. Everyone wondered, where did all this gold come from? How it all started. Before Mansa Musa, there was another empire. The Mali Empire started in the 1200s. It rose after the Ghana Empire became weak. A strong leader named Sundiata Keita brought small kingdoms together. He built the Mali Empire near the Niger River. Sundiata understood that trade was very important. He knew that controlling trade routes brought more power than having many soldiers. Mali was in a good place. It was between the Sahara Desert and Greenlands. Merchants from North Africa brought salt, silk, and spices. Traders from West Africa offered gold, ivory, and nuts. The Niger River helped too. It was like a long road for boats. It helped people and goods move easily. Mali had much gold hidden underground. The empire controlled many rich gold mines. It produced almost half of the world's gold at that time. Then came Mansa Musa's leader, Mansa Abu Bakr II. He was a king before Musa. Abu Bakr II had a big dream. He wanted to find out what was at the end of the Atlantic Ocean. He believed there was more to the world. First, he sent 200 ships into the ocean. Only one ship came back. Its captain told a story about a big whirlpool that took all the other ships. But Abu Bakr II did not give up. He planned an even bigger trip. He gathered 3,000 ships. These ships were full of food and water for many years. Before he left, he chose Musa, his helper, to rule for a short time. Abu Bakr II sailed away with his big fleet, but he never came back. The 3,000 ships were lost at sea forever. No one ever saw them again. Because Abu Bakr II never returned, Musa's temporary rule became permanent. He became the new Mansa, the new emperor. This was special because Musa was not born into the royal family. He was chosen because he was good at leading. Musa inherited an empire that was already rich and peaceful, but he would make it much, much bigger. He would make it much, much wealthier. His reign was about to start an amazing time for Mali. 3. Salt and gold. Mali was a large empire in West Africa with a very special geography. It stretched from the dry Sahara Desert in the north to green savannas in the south. This position made Mali a natural center for trade. The Niger River also flowed through the empire. This river was a vital water highway, helping people and goods move easily between regions and connecting to desert trade routes. Mali's great wealth came from two main treasures: gold and salt. In the medieval world, these two items were very important. Mali had some of the richest gold deposits, found in areas like Bambouk and Bure. During Mansa Musa's rule, Mali produced almost half of all the gold in the world. This large amount of gold gave the empire great power. The empire had a smart system for its gold. If anyone found a large gold piece, a nugget, they gave it to the emperor. In return, the emperor gave them the same weight in gold dust. This dust was used for everyday buying and selling. This rule helped the emperor keep pure gold. Also, Mali kept the locations of its rich gold mines a secret. By controlling who entered these areas and having strict trade rules, the empire hid its gold sources from other nations for many centuries, protecting its advantage. The other precious treasure was salt. Today, salt is common, but in Mansa Musa's time, it was called white gold because it was so valuable. People needed salt to keep food fresh, especially meat. So salt was not just for taste, it was for survival. Mali controlled big salt mines deep in the Sahara, like Tagaza and Taoudeni. Merchants from the north traveled difficult routes to bring salt to Mali. They traded this salt for gold from the south. Sometimes a pound of salt was worth a pound of gold. This showed how crucial salt was for survival, more than gold, which was for luxury. Mali kept these trade routes safe. The empire also controlled the Niger River, a key waterway for goods and taxes. Controlling both gold and salt and their routes made Mali an incredibly rich and strong empire. 4. The Great Journey. Mansa Musa began his great journey in the year 1324. He wanted to travel to Mecca, a holy city. This religious trip is called the Hajj. It was a very important duty for him as a Muslim leader. But Musa's Hajj was unlike any other. It was a journey that showed the world his vast wealth and power. His caravan was enormous, like a moving city crossing the sand. About 60,000 people were part of it. This included many soldiers who protected them, doctors to care for them, and officials to manage the journey. There were also entertainers and many other helpers.
A special group of 12,000 servants walked in the procession. They were dressed in beautiful, fine Persian silk. Each of these servants carried heavy gold bars, weighing about 4 pounds each. This grand display made a strong statement about Mansa Musa's high status to everyone who saw them. The caravan also had many camels. Around 80 to 100 camels carried the empire's wealth. Each camel was loaded with a huge amount of gold dust, from 50 to 300 pounds.
500 servants carried golden staffs that weighed over 10 pounds each. Many horses, sheep, and goats also traveled with the group. This impressive procession traveled for more than 4,000 miles. The journey was very difficult. They crossed the vast, hot Sahara Desert. It was a long trip that took well over 1 year to complete. From Niani, Mali's capital city near the Niger River, they went through the desert to Egypt, then to the holy city of Mecca, and finally back home. Along the way, Mansa Musa's caravan proved Mali's strength and riches to every kingdom they passed. In July of 1324, the caravan finally reached the outskirts of Cairo, Egypt. Cairo was a large and important city, one of the biggest in the world. The powerful Mamluk Sultan, Al-Nasir Muhammad, ruled it. Mansa Musa stopped outside the city for 3 days, camping near the famous pyramids of Giza, where he focused on his prayers. Soon it was time for a meeting between Mansa Musa and the Sultan. This was a very formal event. People expected Musa to bow down or kiss the ground as a sign of respect to the powerful Sultan. These were common acts of submission to rulers. However, Mansa Musa believed he should only bow to God. He stood his ground. He had to make a choice. Would he follow the local custom and bow to another ruler, or would he show his own unique power and refuse? 5. Too much money. Mansa Musa's large caravan arrived in Cairo, a big city in Egypt. He had so much gold, more than anyone had ever seen. For 3 months, Musa stayed in Cairo. He was very generous. He gave away gold to many people. He gave gold to the poor on the streets. He bought many things in the markets. He paid very high prices. He also gave large amounts of gold to build mosques. He gave away 20,000 ounces of gold in Cairo alone. Musa's servants also gave gold to people. Every Friday, Musa paid for a new mosque to be built during his journey. This was good for some people, but it was very bad for Cairo's economy. So much gold came into the city that gold lost its value. Before Musa arrived, gold was worth a lot. After his visit, gold was worth much less. It was like suddenly having too many apples in a market. Their price goes down. The merchants in Cairo were shocked. They had gold, but now their gold could not buy as much as before. It felt like they had become poor, even with their gold. The price of gold went down by about 25%. This made prices for everyday goods go up a lot. People needed 4 or 5 times more money to buy food or clothes. This problem lasted for more than 10 years. The gold market did not get better for a very long time. Mansa Musa had accidentally broken the economy of a powerful nation. When Musa understood the problem, he tried to fix it. He tried to buy back some of the gold from the merchants. He offered good prices and paid interest. He wanted to take the extra gold out of the city. This helped a little. Gold prices started to go up again for a short time. But on his way back home, Musa gave away even more gold. He still had a huge amount. so the prices of gold dropped again. In just one trip, Mansa Musa had broken Cairo's economy, tried to fix it, and then broke it once more. His great generosity showed the world how rich he was, but it also taught everyone a hard lesson. Sometimes too much money can be a big problem. 6. The City of Books. After his long journey, Mansa Musa came back to Mali. He brought new ideas and people with him. He wanted to make his empire strong, not just with gold, but with knowledge. So he looked at a city called Timbuktu. Before Musa, Timbuktu was a small trading post in the desert. People bought and sold things there, like salt and gold. But Musa saw more for Timbuktu. He wanted to make Timbuktu a place of learning. He invited many smart people, like builders and teachers, to come to the city. One famous builder was Abu Ishaq al-Sahili. Musa asked him to build a very large mosque, a Muslim place of worship. This mosque was called Jingareber. It was made of earth and wood and became a beautiful part of the city. Musa spent a lot of money on this building, showing how important it was to him. But Musa did not stop there. He also started many schools called madrasas. These schools were often connected to the big mosques. Two important mosques, Sankore and Jingareber, became centers for learning. People called them the University of Timbuktu. It was not like a university today, but many scholars taught students there. They taught about Islam, the Arabic language, numbers, stars, and even medicine. Students came from far away to learn in Timbuktu. Learning meant having many books. So Musa made sure that books and old writings, called manuscripts, were brought to Timbuktu. Many people began to collect books. Some families had libraries with thousands of manuscripts. These books held important knowledge from across the world. They were about religion, law, science, and history. People valued books very highly, sometimes even more than other goods. In time, Timbuktu grew into a city of wisdom. It was in the middle of a desert, but it became more educated than many big cities in other parts of the world. This was because Mansa Musa used his great wealth not just for gold and power. He used it to build places of learning and to bring knowledge to his people. He wanted Mali to be known for its smart scholars, not just its rich king. 7. The Strong Empire. The Mali Empire was very large, covering about 500,000 square miles. This was a huge area to manage, with many different groups of people and cultures within its borders. Mansa Musa worked hard to ensure his empire stayed strong, organized, and peaceful. He established a well-structured system of government and clear laws that everyone was expected to follow. A key part of Musa's successful rule was the peace he maintained, known as the Pax Manding. This period of peace was vital for the empire's economy, especially for trade. Merchants and traders could travel safely across the long distances within the empire without fear. They carried valuable goods, like large amounts of gold and salt, along the trade routes. Musa's powerful and well-trained army protected the empire's borders and kept the trade paths secure. This protection meant traders felt safe, which helped trade grow and made the empire richer. Musa was also famous for his fair and just rule. People knew that if someone committed a crime, like theft, they would face fair judgment. This built trust in the imperial system. A traveler could carry precious gold from one side of the empire to the other, confident that it would not be stolen. Such safety for valuable goods was uncommon in the medieval world and greatly contributed to Mali's prosperity. The emperor also had specific rules about gold. All large pieces of gold, known as nuggets, were considered the property of the emperor. People who found these nuggets had to give them to the empire. In return, they received gold dust, which was used for everyday transactions. This system helped Musa gather vast amounts of gold for the imperial treasury and ensured the economy remained stable. Additionally, the empire collected taxes on all goods moving through its territory, adding even more wealth. Musa's empire included many cities, towns, and regions. While each had local leaders, they all operated under the general laws and administration of the Mali Empire. This careful organization allowed Mansa Musa to control such a vast and diverse land. He made sure that laws were respected and that justice was served across his domain, making Mali a powerful and respected empire during his time. Under Mansa Musa, the Mali Empire reached its highest point of wealth, peace, and good management. However, as Mansa Musa grew older, a significant question began to arise among his people. Could such a large and successful empire, built on so much gold and strong leadership, continue to thrive and stay united without its wise and golden king? This question presented a big uncertainty for Mali's future. 8. A Great King's Story. Mansa Musa died around the year 1337. After his death, the great Mali Empire began to face many problems. His son, Magan, became ruler, but his time was short. Then Musa's brother, Suleiman, ruled for almost 20 years. However, after Suleiman, the strong empire slowly started to weaken. One big problem was that there was no clear way to choose new leaders. This caused many arguments and fights for the throne. The leaders who came after Musa were generally not as strong. Also, groups from outside Mali, like the Mossi people from the south and Tuareg nomads from the north, started to attack Mali's borders more often. Inside the empire, different regions, such as the Songhai Kingdom, began to fight for their own freedom. In the 1400 and later 1500s, a new change came. European ships, especially from Portugal, started to sail along the coast of Africa. These ships created new trade routes by sea, meaning merchants did not need to cross the Sahara Desert as much. The old desert routes, which had made Mali incredibly rich, became less important. Because of these issues, the powerful empire slowly broke apart into many smaller kingdoms. But even as the empire faded, the stories of Mansa Musa and Mali's golden age were kept alive by traditional storytellers called griots. When we think of very rich people today, names like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos come to mind. But their wealth, mostly in company stocks, is different from Musa's. Mansa Musa directly controlled the land, the gold mines, and all the important trade routes. His wealth was real, physical gold and resources. Historians find it very hard to put an exact number on his fortune. They say he was so rich that he controlled almost half of the world's gold during his time. He could even give away so much gold that it changed its value in other countries for many years.
No person today has such direct and huge power over global resources. Mansa Musa's most important legacy was not just his enormous gold. When he returned from his trip to Mecca, he brought many smart people, like architects and scholars. He used his wealth to build the grand Jingarabur Mosque and to make Timbuktu a world-famous city of learning. Many schools and huge libraries with thousands of manuscripts were created there. This focus on culture and education continued for hundreds of years, long after his empire was gone. His actions showed the world that African kingdoms were not only rich in gold, but also in knowledge and wisdom, leaving a mark that lasted for centuries. What do you believe was Mansa Musa's greatest achievement? His incredible wealth, or his dedication to education and culture?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.